First, let's listen to the noise level before the improvement. Now let's listen to the noise level after the improvement.
Also, to track the chronic issue of noise entering between the bed and the cabin in pickups, we optimized the noise inflow through the extractor grill and applied CST, which allowed us to maximize noise, vibration, and harshness performance.
And to improve ride comfort, we developed new performance features, and especially besides the low speed range, we applied a frequency-sensitive valve and also used a urethane stopper. Tasman can detect trailer sway through sensors installed on the vehicle, and when such a phenomenon occurs, it generates braking force on the left and right tires to suppress the sway.
In the rear, there are 184 adults. Even when seated, there is ample headroom and a spacious 70 mm of shoulder room. For knee space, both the first and second row seats can be adjusted in 10 mm increments, allowing you to position them according to the customer's body size. The 4L mode can be switched after stopping and shifting to neutral, and an additional gear set is added to the drive axle to switch to a higher gear ratio torque.
Yes, this event has been thoroughly prepared to provide you with a variety of in-depth and detailed information about the Tasman pickup, which Kia has ambitiously introduced.
Hello, I'm Choi Dong-ho, a researcher from Team 1 of the Tasman Project's Planning Department. Our project team has been responsible for analyzing customer needs, setting the vehicle concept, and guiding the vehicle through the development process to meet our goals, from the initial planning stage of the Tasman all the way to standing before you today. I will explain in detail the sequence and individual processes of Tasman's creation, as well as the special value that Tasman provides. Tasman is a vehicle independently developed by Kia, targeting the global pickup market. With auto-driving capability, weight stabilizer, and outstanding muscular strength, Kia's first authentic pickup brings together the technological expertise that Kia has built up as a leader in algorithms.
Break the original. Pursue the essence of a pickup and go beyond its value.
This is Tasman's representative slogan. The philosophy behind this copy is that we have conducted a lot of studies and research and development to pursue the essence of a pickup and provide even greater value.
Tasman is a new model developed to target the still fragmented domestic pickup market so that more customers can experience the various charms of pickups.
Based on advanced technology that addresses the weaknesses of existing pickups, we have focused on differentiation by improving inconvenient experiences over the past 2 years. And in order to perfect the Tasman, we have included not only the domestic market, but also the home of pickups. We focused on the voices of pickup users in the United States and Australia, and completed driving tests in unique environments such as Sweden and the Middle East. As a result, over the long period of 5 years, we conducted more than 18,000 tests of 1,777 types focusing on off-road performance, durability, and trailer stability to enhance the completeness of Tasman. With this confidence, we developed Tasman, an all-round sports utility pickup that can be with you anywhere. The completed Tasman is equipped with an optimal system befitting a traditional pickup, enhancing its ability to navigate narrow roads. With an interior space and ride comfort that make it perfect as a family car, it supports a variety of outdoor lifestyles.
In addition, it optimizes utility rather than just the bed, offering excellent practicality for various business uses as well.
Another appeal of pickups is the customization items that allow customers to express their tastes and personalities.
From Tasman's early development, we carefully considered the compatibility, expandability, visibility, and usability of various accessories.
A sidestep designed to perfectly harmonize with Tasman's design. A sliding bed that makes loading easier, or a bed cover that protects the privacy of the cargo bed.
From various leisure equipment such as trailers and timers, to a tow hitch that can stably handle up to 3,500 kilograms.
All these ideas were created in a fun way, with a strong emphasis on thorough service and durability.
Lastly, the various types of sports bars reflect the customer's unique personality and lifestyle, allowing you to enjoy Tasman's versatility even more. So far, I have introduced Tasman's development process, core concepts, and differentiated strengths.
I'm confident that when you experience Tasman for yourself, you'll deeply relate to all the values and charms we've put into it.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Senior Researcher Lee Byung-woo and Senior Researcher Han Young-soo, who will present about the producer.
Hello, I'm Senior Researcher Lee Byung-woo from the MLV Engineering Solutions team, responsible for the overall layout design of Tasman and the flat cham. As explained earlier, Tasman is an all-around sports utility pickup with undeniable appeal. However, Tasman did not believe in the essence of a pickup. The essence of a pickup is its ability to carry large amounts of cargo along with people, its durability to handle heavy loads and trailers without any issues, and its powerful driving performance that allows it to run smoothly even in rough terrains. To achieve this, we chose the traditional body-on-frame structure commonly used in pickups. Body-on-frame is a structure where the powertrain and body are mounted on a ladder-shaped steel frame. This design is advantageous for heavy loads compared to a unibody structure, and the frame absorbs road impacts, making it superior in terms of durability. The newly developed frame for Tasman provides the durability and spaciousness needed to handle a maximum payload of 700 kilograms and a towing capacity of 3.5 tons. Tasman's pickup exclusive platform features a layout designed for optimal performance on narrow roads.
For example, the frame, which is the backbone of the platform, has an 85mm higher ground clearance compared to the previous model. The transmission, fuel tank, transfer case, and other key components are positioned inside the frame rails, providing enough ground clearance to help prevent damage when driving on narrow roads.
For off-road driving, the exterior design of the vehicle, such as the front and rear bumpers, is also very important. Representative indicators include the approach angle, departure angle, and ramp angle. These are English terms that you are probably already familiar with, but to explain briefly, the approach angle refers to the maximum angle at which the front bumper does not touch the slope when the vehicle enters a clean incline. The departure angle, on the other hand, refers to the maximum angle at which the rear bumper does not touch the slope when the vehicle comes down the ramp and the rear tires are on level ground. Lastly, the ramp angle refers to the maximum angle at which the underside of the vehicle between the front and rear wheels does not touch the top of the hill when the front wheels go over the crest. Tasman has secured an approach angle of 28.5 degrees, a departure angle of 25 degrees, a ramp angle of 23.7 degrees, and a minimum ground clearance of 224 millimeters, even in the rear trim, ensuring competitive off-road driving performance.
Furthermore, Tasman also offers the X Pro model, which comes with even more powerful off-road capabilities.
The X Pro model is equipped with 17-inch monitoring tires that are 28 mm larger in diameter, and by lowering the rear preset by 14 mm, the ride height is increased, resulting in a ground clearance that is 28 mm higher than the standard trim.
In addition, by incorporating design elements that are aligned with the base model, including the front motor, it expresses an even more robust and tough style.
Compared to the base model, the X Pro models have increased ground clearance,
resulting in a 3.3 degree higher approach angle, a 1.2 degree higher departure angle, and a 2.1 degree higher ramp angle. In this way, Tasman is expected to provide plenty of enjoyment to adventurers who dream of escaping into the wild, thanks to its platform design optimized for off-road driving. Next, let's learn about the body optimized for off-road use from Han Yong-soo, the lead researcher of MLV's Body Design Team 1, who was in charge of the body design.
I'm Han Yong-soo, lead researcher of MLV's Body Design Team 1 in charge of body design.
As I mentioned earlier, Tasman is Kia's first pickup, and our developers put in a lot of effort to secure the off-road performance and cargo identity required of a traditional pickup.
First, due to the characteristics of a frame body, not only overall vehicle rigidity, but also MVH and RNH performance had to be ensured, so a high level of rigidity was required for the body mounting parts that connect the body frame to the vehicle body. In the case of our vehicle body, the body mounting parts.
In the case of number 1, we will apply a supply structure that delivers the engine to the front section.
For number 2, we configured a frame structure that connects the member of the set claw, the weight, and the counter. For number 3, we used the member of the rear claw, the staff member of the heart shot, and even the rear neighbor of the rear look, so we were able to apply a slightly straight line frame structure. By applying this kind of frame structure, we were able to effectively distribute the load coming up from the road surface through the chassis frame bushings when it is transmitted to the cabin. To ensure safety inside the cabin and to respond effectively when grounding. As you can see in the diagram, by expanding the application of ultra-high-strength steel plates, including hot-stamped parts, by more than 55%, we were able to achieve a reinforced yet lightweight body structure.
As a result, as you can see in the table, the average body strength is about 64% compared to the frame body of the competitor. And in terms of torsional rigidity, we were able to achieve about 32%. I can't give you the exact figures, but in terms of rigidity, I can say that we have achieved performance equal to or better than our competitors. Due to the characteristics of the frame peninsula, even in the evaluations we normally conduct, we conducted evaluations by adding additional modes such as the pattern mode, and as you can see here, we analyzed those evaluation modes and carried out assessments of the targets in the simulator using the pattern mode, just as you see now. Based on our evaluations in these actions, as you can see here, we conducted level assessments in various regions such as the Middle East and deserts, so we can meet the objectives in all evaluations.
Next, I will talk about the design aspects of fording performance among the off-road capabilities.
Regarding this fording performance, from the early stages of development, there were many discussions about what level of target we should set, how to achieve the performance, and how to bring out the desired results.
To ensure that from the testing stage, we conducted several fording test programs in the carbonization part, including economic and technical aspects.
As a result, for the first time in our company, as you can see, we moved the air intake duct to the outside of the fender and achieved a fording height of 950 millimeter.
And for the rear entry, we set the direction of the vehicle to move backward instead. As you can see now, to prevent water entering the engine from passing over the fender air vent and getting into the rear entry, we also applied a fender service cover to ensure water resistance. Through this concept, I can say that for Tasman, we were able to effectively secure fording performance and driving performance during fording at the steel plate that leads into the engine. Also, in general vehicles as well, we emphasized that by positioning the electronic components installed in various areas above the height of the body technique, we ensured protection against water ingress. Also, in case of flooding or if water entered briefly, we applied this kind of structure to ensure smooth drainage by passing it through a draining system in the future. This video shows the photos and footage of the actual comprehensive evaluations we conducted during the development stage.
There will probably be a test drive early next week, and at that time, you'll be able to check the weighting performance for yourself.
Next, I will explain the cargo bed, which is an essential element and a major factor of a pickup truck.
In the past, pickups were mainly used for official purposes in a work-oriented format. But as personal and lifestyle models are being released and leisure activities are increasing, the pickup market is rapidly expanding.
Pickups have evolved beyond simply functioning as utility vehicles and have become a means of expressing individual tastes and unique lifestyles. Accordingly, Tasman's cargo bed has also been developed in a way that maximizes customer satisfaction.
First of all, Tasman's cargo bed focuses on the essential features that a pickup should have.
And to accommodate various loading activities and expand the value for customers, we have provided several standard features. And as I mentioned earlier, we've also prepared various customizable parts so that customers can reflect their own personalities and preferences.
In the case of Tasman, as I have explained earlier, it is the first traditional pickup developed by Kia.
In fact, it's no exaggeration to say that I set the standards and guidelines for the bed view myself.
Therefore, there was a lot of discussion in the early design stages about how to explain the bed view and whether it should be done as usual.
In fact, we conducted a lot of market analysis on the requirements and technologies for markets like the United States and Australia, where pickups are common.
And we also introduced brands that are competing as spy sellers.
You can choose the design of various materials for that.
As you can see in the picture, there are various types of loads on the flatbed, and they are loaded in different ways.
As I've explained, customizable parts like sports bars and canopies are used.
We wanted to ensure the body rigidity of the bed core. That was the most important thing for us.
To achieve that, as you can see in the picture, we compensated for and ensured the characteristics of various types of steel. In what you see now,
we focused on one side of the side sill, the side groove, and the loading area of the cargo bed.
Although it's not shown in the picture, we analyze in various ways what happens on one side when it's in a bad bull state, and the machine is on this side.
Based on the analysis, we simulate these actual conditions and quantify things like bad bull outward stiffness, bad bull toe chipping, and as shown in the picture, we analyze and secure the repost stiffness. These methods were the conventional evaluation methods.
While designing these, we were able to proceed by newly collecting these evaluations, modes, and trends together.
To explain the analysis, when each load was applied, the parts shown in red were identified as the actual deformation.
Through the transfer and improvement of this maximum value, as I mentioned earlier, we were able to optimize the structure by combining hot stamping more quickly and applying multi-support.
Within this optimized structure, Tasman received a lot of evaluations in areas such as battle training stages, durability, corrosion resistance, rigidity, and amphibious performance.
To explain, when we imported the vehicle, we also conducted standard evaluations of competing vehicles, and I can say that compared to the competitors, we achieved performance that is at least equal to or better than theirs. Next, researcher Lee Byung-woo will respond again to the evaluation points from the representative. Thank you.
Oh, yes, this is a report from Professor Kim Jae-won.
During early development, a key concern about Tasman's unique features was the cargo bed size.
Considering domestic parking regulations, there were limitations to a reasonable size, and while the cargo bed is a very important factor in a pickup, it's also an area where differentiation is difficult.
Therefore, we boldly optimized the size of the cargo bed, and instead, we focused on enhancing convenience by considering various usage scenarios as we moved into the details of development.
The optimized Tasman cargo bed size is 1,512 millimeters in length, 1,572 millimeters in width, and 540 millimeters in height. And we paid special attention to the width, securing 1,186 millimeter, which greatly improves the practicality of the cargo bed for actual use. This also takes into account accommodating standard pallets for each country. Also, the cargo bed capacity is 1,173 liters, and the maximum load weight for the Twilly model is up to 700 kilograms, which is the highest level among mid-size cargo beds. Tasman is also equipped with various convenience features in the bed to further expand the utility of the pickup. First, to prevent damage to the bed panel, a plastic headliner has been applied twice to the bed, and at night. To ensure visibility in traffic jams, we have installed one LED headlamp on each side. And with a total of 4 tie-down loops installed at the front and rear on both sides, you can easily secure nets or ropes. There are also divider notches applied to the bed, which allow customers to create their own partitions. This way, you can divide the cargo bed as needed and use it more efficiently.
See, meanwhile, the 205 outlet provided on the left side of the bed can supply power to low-capacity electronic devices under 200 watts.
Here, a double cover structure has been applied, taking into account safety and car wash situations. There are also several convenient features outside the bed. The side storage applied to the right side of the cargo bed is the result of designers and engineers working hard not to waste even a small space. It's a useful space where you can store simple tools and even use it as a small table. If you're a customer who enjoys outdoor activities, this will become a favorite storage space. Also, we've added a corner step at the end of the cargo bed to make it easier to get in and out of the space. Lastly, Tasman boasts a wide range of customizable parts and perfect compatibility. For example, the holes and mounting points needed to install the Tasman back door are already reflected in the basic structure of Tasman, reducing the risk of corrosion from post-installation work. The cutting areas are clearly marked on the trim covering the panel, so you can install parts without causing major damage to the exterior.
In addition, the doors of the canopy and side storage are linked to the vehicle's doors in terms of function, so you can use them conveniently and with peace of mind.
That concludes my detailed explanation of the Tasman cargo bed.
I hope you have a variety of experiences with the excellent off-road performance and outstanding Tasman. Thank you.
Hello, I'm researcher Jo Young-jun from the MLV Chassis Testing Team, responsible for developing the Tasman's four-wheel drive system and off-road driving performance.
While researching and developing the Tasman, we put a lot of thought into ensuring that potential pickup customers could enjoy a pleasant driving experience anytime, anywhere, regardless of location.
As a result, we were able to develop the Tasman, which delivers the best off-road performance among all the vehicles Kaya has ever developed.
First, let me explain the four-wheel drive system, which is fundamental to off-road performance.
Most conventional pickups use a mechanical four-wheel drive system, which is called 4WD, or part-time system.
With this system, the driver can choose between 2WD and 4WD, but generally, 4WD has lower drivability on regular roads and can cause vibrations when used improperly.
It's also less efficient in terms of fuel economy. To overcome these shortcomings, we have applied a lot of new technologies and spent time developing Tasman so that it can be a versatile pickup that performs well both on-road and off-road.
The first technology to activate these kinds of keywords is the electronic all-wheel drive, based MISO all-terrain control.
Tasman's dedicated MISO all-terrain control is an all-wheel drive system based on a front clutch, providing torque by adjusting the clutch unit.
By utilizing control technology, it offers 2H, 4H, and 4M modes, like conventional part-time vehicle models, and also provides a 4A mode that determines the optimal torque to be delivered jointly by assessing the vehicle's driving conditions.
In addition, in 4L mode, it engages a low gear to deliver higher torque to the front and rear wheels during driving. Let's take a closer look at the all-wheel drive mode applied to Tasman. First, in 2H mode, engine power is delivered only to the rear, so only the rear wheels are driven. This is important for fuel-efficient driving on the road. 4H mode, just like the traditional part-time four-wheel drive system, distributes driving force evenly to the front and rear wheels. It allows for off-road driving. Also, in 4L mode, which uses low gears, it maximizes driving force, allowing you to drive through even more challenging terrain. The 4L mode can be engaged after stopping and shifting to neutral, and an additional gear set is added to the drive axle, storing more torque at a lower gear ratio. Lastly, in 4A mode, the system operates in full-time drive, using sensors to detect the driving conditions and automatically control the valves according to the resistance. The next part is the differential lock device, another feature designed for off-road driving.
The differential lock device applied to Tasman uses two methods. The manual type, where the driver operates a switch to limit differential action at all times, and the mechanical type, which automatically limits differential action mechanically when left and right wheel slip occurs depending on driving conditions.
The electronic differential lock device applied to the X Pro model provides locking either by switch input or according to logic.
Unlike the mechanical type, the Mundy head type has the advantage that the function can be operated according to the driver's input. The electronic differential lock device can be easily operated with just one button. Depending on the situation, the driver can easily activate it with just one button. Let's watch a video to help you understand the function.
First, this is a test video on a road surface with severe left and right unevenness.
As you can see, when the electronic locking differential is open, you can see the wheels spinning a bit before moving forward. On the other hand, as you can see on the right, when the electronic locking differential is activated, the wheels move smoothly without spinning. Next is a situation where the road surface traction decreases and the wheels spin in an emergency. As you can see, when you encounter a slippery surface like this while driving off-road, if you use the electronic locking differential function, you will be able to experience Tasman's powerful driving performance. Tasman also offers a terrain mode that controls the engine, transmission, all-wheel drive and traction control system according to each road surface, so you can drive in a wider variety of environments. Tasman offers a total of 5 terrain modes: Auto, Sub, Mud, Sand, and Rock mode. Among these, the Auto Terrain mode is a feature that uses artificial intelligence to determine the current road surface and automatically switches to the most suitable terrain mode. Additionally, the Lambo mode, which is only available on the X Pro model, is a terrain mode that operates in low gear, or 4L mode, providing stable driving in mountainous areas.
And the X Pro model also offers the X-Track mode, which is a driving feature specialized for off-road conditions.
This technology helps the driver maintain a constant low speed when creating a brake pattern with the acceleration sound.
By using the X-Track mode, the driver can more conveniently navigate through passages during initial acceleration.
Let's watch a short video about the X-Track mode feature.
X-Track mode is a low-speed driving feature that allows you to continuously drive forward.
To use the feature, disable auto mode, turn on the brake panel and switch to low gear, or press the button to switch to group mode. If you want to drive, shift to drive mode.
Press the X-Track switch to turn on running mode. You can extend the acceleration panel and drive at the set speed. You can set up to 5 levels in total. When the X-Track Guardi goes up, the speed increases, and when the Guardi goes down, the speed decreases. To turn off X-Trap mode, switch it off. Enjoy dynamic off-road driving with X-Trap mode.
We conducted many experiments all over the world to develop the 5 terrain modes
and the X-Tran mode that I explained earlier.
This included the main sales regions for Tasman, such as the United Arab Emirates and Australia, as well as the United States, which is considered the home of off-roading. The video on the top left shows experiments conducted in mountainous areas like Pohang, Gangneung, and Paju in Korea to develop the rock mode and X-Track mode.
And to develop the snowboard mode, we conducted tests in Sweden. In this video, Tasman is tackling a 30% slope using the X-Track mode.
We also conducted tests in the western United States to develop the mud mode and sand mode. Additionally, to further verify the sand mode, we carried out tests in the mountainous regions of the Middle East.
As you can see, it quickly adapts even in desert areas with deep sand like this. Lastly, to comprehensively check the terrain modes we developed, we also conducted off-road driving tests in Australia. So far, I have explained the Tasman's four-wheel drive system and off-road performance development.
Hello, I'm Bae Doyol, a researcher responsible for setting and nurturing the overall development potential of the Tasman's driving performance.
If the previous researcher explained the overall possibilities of off-road driving, I will explain the off-road convenience features and towing performance. The first step in off-road driving is to check and inspect the condition of the vehicle.
To meet the needs of customers who want to check the condition of their vehicles in real time, we plan to include the necessary off-road inspection features in the platform.
What you see in front of you is the off-road hotel lift interface with Tasman applied. As you can see here, it displays the most important Orironom and Bunseop longitude, as well as functional issues like Sangyul Budong and Heorimudo. Finally, it can also represent the body and position of the vehicle, and even the steering system more effectively. Also, important points that require immediate judgment are additionally displayed on the cluster, so you'll be able to check them later in the vehicle.
In addition, hoping that more customers can enjoy off-road driving, we have applied our company's first ground band monitor system.
The ground monitor system is a system that allows you to check the road surface beneath the vehicle's front.
As you can see here, the camera at the front of the vehicle sends an image to the display, creating a top-down view of the vehicle. It also generates virtual wheels in the image, allowing you to check the situation ahead when driving off-road.
Off-road performance is very important for pickup trucks, but it seems we won't be able to test the towing performance right now either.
By applying the Tasman's maximum air intake capacity and the largest on Mariatur, as well as the maximum size on Mariatur.
Maximizing the monthly highway usage.
In line with that, it is applied to the 3.5-ton turbo engine model, more than doubling the air intake area of Gongmin 6 5.9M intake system.
We applied a turbo to the Tasman gasoline model. Through this, not only did we introduce a very large payload for the 3.5-ton model, but we were also able to secure sufficient durability performance. Also, in Johi Tasman, a more sophisticated dashboard has been applied. The first of these is the continuous dashboard bag. It seems easier to explain if I draw a graph.
If we say the x-axis is the lane and the y-axis is the pedal panel, as the speed gradually increases and leaves a vertical line, this is a transmission map that shows continuity. If you keep pressing the accelerator at the same level,
in mobile mode, shifting occurs at a lower speed, but in tour mode, shifting happens at a higher speed, allowing you to use a lower gear ratio. Through this, we were able to secure the power performance suitable for tour mode.
Also, secondly, the requirements for LFU prohibition are being strengthened and applied.
First, LTU refers to a phenomenon where, without any repeat, the quality drops, and when you release the accelerator during rapid delivery, it stays attached without a high unit price. So, let me explain in a bit more detail using a diagram. If you keep pressing the accelerator pedal from the top, the engine keeps increasing like the red line, and when you release your foot from the accelerator, the LFU phenomenon occurs, dropping to about 50 m, and accordingly, the endgame drops like the blue line. Next, if you want to accelerate again and press the accelerator, since it has already dropped to the lower line, it takes some time to recover, so the acceleration response can be a bit slower. To compensate for this, in Tasman's torque model, the LFU restriction efficiency has been further strengthened and adapted. As you can see, even after accelerating in 3rd gear and then releasing the pedal in 8th gear, it still maintains 3rd gear. Also, as you can see, the IPM slightly drops to match the torque demand. And when the driver accelerates again, you can see that it can immediately re-accelerate in 3rd gear.
Through this, the necessary shift effect can be further minimized, and it has also been confirmed to be effective in preventing power handling overheating.
Lastly, the downhill assist is also optimized.
So when you're going downhill with a heavy load, you might have felt like you were about to slip suddenly, or maybe you didn't press your foot on the pedal because of the sudden acceleration.
That's what the roll pack is for, just to get started, and through this roll pack, you end up using lower gears more often. And besides that, your experience with engine braking expands, so the pressure you apply to the pedal with your foot decreases, and you've also managed to overcome situations where the brakes overheated. These various organizations have checked their effectiveness not only in endemic, but also in regions like Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Australia, and the United States, and have applied them using Tasman's methods.
So far, we've talked about the cooling performance and power performance of towing, but now I'd like to explain about the regeneration performance and durability.
Gasminer first applied electronic brake control to the pressure-reducing mortar.
First, IOTC is an electronic control, and it's an essential device for selecting a trailer with an electronic brake.
It determines the driver's braking force and sends a braking signal to the trailer.
As you can see in the picture here, you can adjust the braking force by pressing the minus and plus buttons, and with the speed level, you can manually apply braking force to the trailer in an emergency situation by focusing on the set value.
Also, in the case of our ITC, in addition to providing standard panels and pedals, it can detect when electronic stability control ABS or CSA are operating and help the trailer to brake accordingly.
Through these features, you can tow more safely compared to trailer controls installed by external companies. Next is the trailer safety assist function.
We usually use the commonly accepted method based on the given scenario. For example, situations where there is a very strong crosswind, or when the cargo might not be stable, or if the trailer is in poor condition, and so on, various reasons are distinguished. So when the trailer sways back and forth like the tail of a cow, we call this the pitch tail phenomenon or trailer sway.
Tasman can detect trailer sway through sensors installed on the vehicle, and when such a phenomenon occurs, it applies braking force to the left and right tires to control and reduce the sway.
Through this kind of trailer stability control function, Tasman is able to drive more safely even when towing heavy loads, as it is only affected by its own weight and the weight it is towing. In addition to the information shown here, Tasman has added various features for towing convenience, most notably the trailer profile function and a checklist. The trailer profile function allows you to save information for each trailer, such as the type of brakes or other important personal details, and it also stores the mileage for each trailer, which can help with trailer management.
With the checklist stored in the vehicle, you can inspect the trailer more systematically before driving.
Hello, I am researcher Joe Kabong from the chassis design team in the development department responsible for the Sexmation design at Tasman. We are not working on Sexmation Pro, but are in charge of the wheels and tires for the chassis. Our team in the development department are deeply considering how to achieve the best performance from a global perspective, since our field greatly affects the vehicle's ride, comfort, handling, noise, vibration, and harshness, and other key performance aspects.
Tasman was a core development project that aimed to pursue the traditional pickup while also providing comfortable ride quality like an SUV.
Therefore, we put a lot of effort into combining genres like the chassis frame, which can achieve harmony, and features like monocoque and others. First, let me explain about the chassis frame. The chassis frame is a feature that greatly affects various performances of the vehicle, such as RLH, noise, vibration, and harshness, fuel efficiency, LED, and more. And at our company, we use a maximum large scale of 3,500 kilograms, and to ensure strong rigidity, the electric side member is designed to withstand up to 2.9 tons. The center side and wheel type side members use 2.9 ton 60K grade ultra high strength steel plates.
And Tasman's cabin and chassis frame are connected by a component called the chassis frame mounting cushion.
The chassis frame mounting cushion is a small part, and there are a total of 6 provided. There are 2 types, a separated type as you can see here, and an integrated type as shown in this picture. The separated type has upper and lower cushions that are divided quickly. Its advantage is that it's good for small packages, but it has the drawback that you have to set it the same for both sides and for all vehicle types. The integrated cushion has a somewhat unique size, which makes it a bit disadvantageous for packaging, but it allows the designer to independently set the characteristics for each vehicle type and for the left and right sides as desired. Tasman applied the separated type to the front cylinder, classifying it as an accumulated base, and applied the integrated type to the center and upper parts to optimize ride comfort by considering CapGen's drivability. Next, I will explain about the front suspension. Tasman applied a high-mount double wishbone suspension to achieve the minimum ground clearance of 224 mm and X-Tor's 252 mm, and considering Tasman's pickup truck characteristics. And for ride comfort, we optimized the lower arm bushing performance, and especially for the shock absorber, we applied a frequency-sensitive valve as well as a urethane stopper. In the case of the urethane stopper, it helps smooth out the movement when there is a lot of vibration during off-road driving. For the rear suspension, considering Tasman's maximum payload of 700 kilograms and its ample cargo space, we applied a rigid axle leaf spring. There is often a concern that using leaf springs might negatively affect ride comfort.
In the Tasman, under normal driving conditions, we set the software similar to SVA's springs and designed the leaf spring and bushings for optimal performance to ensure ride comfort.
And just like during assembly, we applied a frequency-sensitive valve and a regulator stalker to the rear of the shock absorber. And to respond to ground clearance requirements, we developed and customized the home stalker, leaf spring, remote, and shock absorber components.
For tires, considering Tasman's general driving performance and off-road driving performance, we provided highway drain and highway Dualson tires for the standard trim.
For the X-Corner specification, to further enhance road characteristics, we based it on the all-terrain tire type. Also, the tires for the X-Corner specification are more robust compared to the standard specification and have a stronger off-road character. We developed the wheels in 4 types, including the Tosta-Biden specification you see on the far right and the wire type. For the design, we emphasized the rugged characteristics of this truck and came up with open 6-spoke and pipe spoke type designs. And since each wheel has a very big impact on each FH compared to regular wheels, it's 10 tons.
We developed it as a wheel type with increased air volume using a deep dish method.
Tasman was developed not only in Korea, but also through numerous driving tests in the Australian market, where the pickup market is very active.
Accordingly, we will manufacture and set up many of the components explained earlier to better prepare for the upcoming season, aiming not only for powerful driving performance, but also for a comfortable ride.
I believe you will be able to feel it. That concludes my presentation.
I am Yoon-Gyun Kim, the principal researcher from the MLV software team, responsible for noise, vibration, and harshness development at Tasman.
Tasman aimed to break away from the traditional feel of the walker and incorporate features that are more urban and suitable for a family car. Accordingly, we have especially enhanced the noise, vibration, and harshness performance to meet the expectations of domestic consumers. Generally, the road tires applied to the Tasman frame. The method produces more road noise compared to the on-off work body. The performance
is advantageous.
The vibrations generated from the road surface are first transmitted to the body frame. The body bushings, as they pass through the body bushings, they are secondarily transmitted, adding to road noise.
It's an advantageous principle.
By utilizing the advantages of this and the frame body, road noise is reduced inside the cabin. We work to improve the sense of quietness to a level you can experience in a premium SUV. Not only road noise, but we also paid a lot of attention to the overall noise, vibration, and harshness performance. For the hemming area, we finalized the Dash ISO pad and Pro Comp pad noise, vibration, and harshness package, so we were able to apply it up to the exterior scoring line. Especially, as you may have heard earlier, to improve the high-frequency components, the black trim was placed inside the fender, which caused the noise that got closer to the driver to be more easily transmitted into the cabin. To overcome these kinds of side effects, we applied noise, vibration, and harshness items around the FD, which allowed us to achieve both ceiling performance and noise, vibration, and harshness performance. Also, to optimize the noise that enters through the gap between the bed and the cabin, which is a chronic issue for pickups, we optimized the sound insulation materials under the extractor grille and maximized noise, vibration, and harshness performance by applying CST. Next is a comparison of the noise, vibration, and harshness performance before and after the enhancement work. If you listen to the driving noise we recorded during our tests, you can clearly notice the noise improvement. The graph you see on the screen shows the driving noise during vehicle acceleration represented in color. Even to the naked eye, you can see a significant difference between before and after the improvement. First, let's listen to the noise level before the improvement. Now let's listen to the noise level after the improvement. As you heard before the improvement, the noise was especially concentrated on the intake side, and you could see that it was at a safety level. After the noise, vibration, and harshness improvement, you can notice that the noise level has been greatly improved.
I believe that the noise, vibration, and harshness characteristics developed for Tasman are outstanding compared to other vehicles and provide a comfortable experience for customers.
Hello, I am researcher Choi Seung-chan, responsible for developing the interior section features, including the Tasman center console seat and various display screens. A lot of effort was put into the interior section of the Tasman to provide features that go beyond the standards of traditional pickups. In particular, the second half of the year was spent creating a space that stands out with a luxurious and functional design, combining the strong and simple image of a traditional pickup with the sophistication of an SUV. The horizontal and symmetrical layout, like the options, provides a sense of visual stability, and the delicate design elements throughout the interior preserve a sense of luxury. Tasman's first row space combines functional design with advanced features.
The cockpit features a CCNC-based panoramic wide display to maintain a refined atmosphere, and the center fascia and console are equipped with physical buttons that allow for collective control even in off-road or challenging environments. In addition, Tasman has extensively applied advanced features to support new ways of mobility for the driver.
The console is equipped with a folding table, providing space for using a laptop or having a simple meal, and a dual smartphone wireless charging system has been added for extra convenience.
In addition, practical convenience features have been included, such as a digital center mirror that provides the driver with a safe rear view even when loading luggage, and a crash pad storage compartment for keeping small items.
Next, I will explain the second row interior space.
By any chance, has anyone here had a bad experience with a traditional pickup truck?
Those of you who have had such experiences will probably relate to this well.
The rear seat space in traditional pickups was somewhat compromised to review cargo space for the same class due to limited installation size. The narrow space led to poor seatback fit and unadjustable angles, greatly compromising rear passenger comfort.
In fact, we found through domestic and international pickup consumer surveys that there were cases of tuning the rear seat to 2 different angles through the aftermarket, and there were various complaints about the rear seat space and the use of interior space.
We identified these consumer needs and made a lot of efforts to maximize the limited cabin space as quickly as possible.
To provide stability and convenience that couldn't be felt in existing top international pickups, we secured the maximum cabin space and developed a sliding motion link reclining seat with a mat-size tag capture so that even rear passengers can have a comfortable ride experience.
At the same time, we designed experimental seat functions and storage spaces so that you can load or store various sizes and types of luggage both inside and outside the cabin. As mentioned earlier, Tasman's second row interior space has the largest possible structure, ensuring comfortable use for a family of 4 without inconvenience. Despite limited interior space, we kept headroom equal to competitors while adding cabinet space for a wider interior. Optimized layout design allowed for a 2,213 mm cabinet, about 35 mm longer than similar class models. In addition, to provide a differentiated interior space, we slimmed down the interior features that open the plates of both the first and second row seats, promoting even more spaciousness. We also developed the rear seat's rotary latch for the interior and applied the rear slider linkage and link line functions across the mid-size pack. The rotary latch is designed so that even if the position and angle of the seat back change, the latch maintains its engagement with the vehicle while allowing the angle to be adjusted up to 30 degrees. This provides a level of comfort in the reclining area that you couldn't experience in previous pickups. Many full-size sedans, like the Kia K8, offer a maximum recline angle of 27 degrees. With Tasman, we aim to provide the same comfort level found in luxury sedans, even in a pickup configuration. The image illustrates 2 men over 184 cm tall and 1 woman between 169 cm tall, seated, providing a reference for second row space.
The rear seat offers ample headroom and shoulder room with about 70 mm of space, even for a 184 cm tall adult man.
For knee space, both the first and second row seats can be adjusted in 10 mm increments, allowing customers to set the position according to their body size. Therefore, even when a family of 4 adults rides together, it can provide ample interior space without any shortage. Next, I will explain about the rear seat recline, pebbling, and cushion keyboard for various interior uses. Conventional pickups required interior storage space along with headroom, legroom, and trunk space. Reflecting these needs, the second row space can accommodate not only wide luggage, but also tall items, allowing for various sizes of cargo. We have manufactured the peplum and cushion keyboard so that they can be loaded inside the vehicle, and unlike competing models, both the cushion and the pack were independently developed to be compatible with various business systems.
In addition, to improve both the practicality of various interior loading options and the convenience for second-row passengers, we applied Kia's first-ever wide-open rear door hinge.
Therefore, the rear door of Tasman, equipped with the wide open door hinge, can open up to 80%, which is 10 degrees wider than other Kia vehicles. Thanks to the rear door that opens this wide, passengers can get in and out much more comfortably.
Cargo with a length of 1.3 mm and a width of 0.4 can also be loaded without much inconvenience.
Also, the rear seat of Tasman has a large 45L storage compartment, and to make this space possible, the rear seat is designed with a folding structure as follows. The cantilevered rest frame overcomes frame construction by applying a panel with a box structure and a square wave reinforcement to ensure collision protection performance. As a result, we were able to create a storage space of up to 45L in the rear seat while maintaining collision protection performance.
Lastly, Tasman has been equipped with various convenience features to provide passengers with a comfortable and relaxed travel experience. For convenience and comfort. Through Tasman's interior space, which focuses on convenience and comfort, we hope you can experience a new journey with Kia Tasman that you couldn't feel with previous pickups, even though it's a pickup. This concludes my presentation on the first and second row interior spaces. Thank you for listening.
This concludes my answers regarding the main technologies of Tasman.
If this was helpful, please give it a like.
Subscribe and turn on notifications to get accurate new car information quickly. Thank you.